Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, woo, what a day, right? I mean, it was red right out of the gate. And if you don't know, it's because a bunch of different things happened. Because you thought, well, yes, they were good, right? We were okay. The market didn't really have a huge reaction to what Jerome said in a way. But no, I guess I had time to digest it. But more importantly, what happened was you just had a slew of economic data hit today, and none of it was good for the market per se, right? One of the reports was good for the economy, right, which was employment still hot, right? But the market didn't like to see that. It's like, oh no, because Jerome just emphasized that yesterday because he knew what the reports are going to be today, right? And we're going to get into all that right there, the charts, which look sickly at this point in time. And there were other things that we're going to go over as well that happened to some of the big stocks. But if you just look at this right here, I mean, November retail sales right out of the gates down 0.6%. They were thinking it was only be down 0.2%. Prior month was 1.3%. So that's kind of a big drop off. X Autos had the same problem. The control group they used had the same problem. So the market didn't like that. Then we got this right here, and I already told you about people taking hardship loans in their 401ks, but now you got them digging into the old HELOCs. See, starting to pop up in the last two reports that have come out on it, right? Now, let's keep this in context. If you look at the dot-com bubble and you look at the financial crisis, nowhere near that. But as you can see, this right here is going up a little bit more and more, right? And why is it staying so low right now? And why is it something to not worry about at this moment, but in the future maybe? It's because people still have jobs. This was the other data that upset the market. They went, oh my God, people still have jobs. Initial jobless claims come in less than what they expected, 211K versus 232K. Continuous claims, 1.67 to 1 versus 1.674 million, right? And so it shows the states where you've seen the biggest increases and decreases. But the market doesn't like that because that means Jerome has to keep staying tight. And that's why the bears came out today and they were just dancing, pushing this market down. And the bulls said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just fade on away for a minute. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And if you're getting anything out of this, please hit the like and think about sharing the video, guys. And I've been doing some digging because we've been talking about it. And by the way, thank you for all the comments from yesterday's video. And as you can see, read through those comments on yesterday's video, and you'll see I'm not the only one. My area is not the only one partying like 1999, right? You'll see people from Australia, Europe, all over this country saying, yeah, I don't get it. Go up in there, hard to find parking spaces. Family, friends still traveling. I mean, so it's not just me, right? You'll see that not just in this country either, which is kind of crazy, right? Because other countries, I don't know how they calculate their inflation, but it's actually higher than ours in most places. So that's what's interesting to see. But I also been doing some digging because I kept saying, where's all these people going, right? Why do we have this shortage? And of course, in my lifetime, I've never seen a labor shortage like this before, right? Now, if you're older, maybe if you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, you have, but not in my lifetime. And that's what we have. We literally don't have enough people anymore to fill the job, which is why we probably still have, it was 1.7, maybe it's 1.6 now for every one job out there. But the reason why is threefold, and I did some research on this, and also one is just common sense. One, obviously, I did a video on this like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, is the birth rate, right? That's the easy one. I don't need to show you data on because all you do is look in your own family. My grandmothers, one had 10, one had 6 kids. I'm from the South, big families, right? My mom only had 2. I only have 1. My brother only has 2, right? So you can look in your own family and say, oh yeah, the birth rates are down, right? So again, and the other one is, one thing I'm going to show you here, and this is kind of shocking, but the other one is immigration. Like I read stats that stunned me. I'm talking about legal immigration, right? Legal immigration over the last 5 years have fallen off a cliff. I mean, people with the visas and the green cards. I'm talking about millions. It's insane, right? And understand, you may not like it, but this country was founded on immigration. This country depends on immigration because we don't have enough children to keep it running, okay? And it's such a booming country as far as the economy goes and growing. You have to have, an increasing population, obviously. It has to go at a certain exponential rate. And so we're kind of almost having what China's problem is, right? They had the one-child policy, and we didn't do anything like that, of course. But, who's immigrating to China, right? So China literally depends on their own here. We depend on immigration, right? But now I found this stat yesterday, which just stunned me, but it shouldn't, because you got to understand, America's great. Love it, served it, all that stuff. That's me, right? But understand, don't depend on your government to tell you the truth when it comes to healthcare and things like that. There's a reason why there's a whole bunch of Americans, when they retire, they're leaving this country. They're going to Portugal, Ireland, all these other places. There's a reason for this. I actually follow a family on YouTube that lives in Portugal, and I'm learning a whole lot, right? And they're loving life, okay? And the good thing is I was in the military, so I've been to different countries like Australia. I always said if it wasn't such a long flight, I'd move down there because I love the people, the weather. It was great. It was fantastic, right? And I've done some research on it. It seems like a great place to live too. But, if you've actually traveled outside this country to other countries, modern countries, you'll know, like, I don't think my government's telling me the truth about these countries. These people seem really happy, and there's a lot of stresses they don't have to worry about that we have to hear, like medical bills bank revenue. Number one reason for bankruptcy in this country. No other country has that problem. Just us, right? It's an American thing because our healthcare is for profit. Just an example, getting off on a tangent, but here's what I want to show you. The lead into this, right? So this is net international migration in the U.S., okay? Look at how this stuff is look how this thing is just falling off a cliff, starting in 2015 and especially 2016, excuse me. And that is not good. So this is net, like how many people are coming in versus how many are going out. And yeah, that's not good. I mean, we were going good from 2010 and 2015, 16, and then boom, down we go, right? And that's a combination of cutting down on legal immigration and then a lot more people saying, I'm out. Can't afford to live here no more. And I'm going to go somewhere else and get health care and all this other stuff. And that's just the way it is because when you get the most sick, when you're elderly, okay, when you're older, right? That's when you get the most problems. So you might want to live under a healthcare system that's a little different than ours, right? And so just saying that. And, and I don't know how you fix that. Honestly, I wanted to bring it to your attention. I don't know how you fix that. We ain't going to start forcing people to have more kids. That's not going to happen. As far as the legal immigration thing, I mean, maybe it picks back up, but you can see under two different presidents, still going down, right? At least the net immigration is still going down. And so it's like, that ain't good, and so how do you fix it? I don't know. We can't just magically go, okay, we need, how many millions of people we need to make up 1.6 million, 2 million, 3 million, whatever it is, to all of a sudden come back and go in the workforce. And plus, what did Jerome Powell say? The 2020 problem and pandemic caused a lot more people to retire and not come back in. Then you had people make a boon of money, right? Not coming back. They're rich. They're out of here. And so, I don't know how you fix that. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess you try to cause a recession and try to bring down the amount of jobs people need. But my question on that is, well, when we come out of the recession, and if we just start picking back up where we left off and stuff starts growing like crazy again, is there going to be more people to take the jobs? That might be a totally stupid question. I don't know. But in my mind, that's what's going to happen. If you say demand's here and you need it to be here, and that's going to cut down unemployment and raise unemployment, all stuff because there's less jobs out there. But then all of a sudden you start growing real rapidly in that first year or 2 years. Is there going to be enough people, right? Because we're still at this level short, and we get to this level again. Is there going to be enough people to take the jobs? Like, that's just a question I have. Or are we just going to have companies operate more efficiently and then start using robots and technology even more to fix the problem? And so, I guess I can ask Kathy Woods. That seems to be what we need. But, just a question to ponder. Put in the comments what you think. I'm not an expert on, obviously, that problem, but I'm just trying to use common sense and logic to think that one out. And if you look at this right here, here's the charts. I mean, first of all, DXY was positive today, which of course usually hits stocks hard, but man, it's looking sickly. I mean, the volume's been decreasing. It's just trading down this channel. It can't break out of it. It's trying to. Really needs to get back above around 104.75 level to 105 to have any chance. But I mean, it's looking pretty rough right now. And then Apple. Remember, the market goes as Apple goes because it's so weighted in the S&P. And you can see, boy, it had a rough day. It was one of the biggest drops since like 2020 or something, I think. But, I mean, it was a big drop. You can see that 140 level is what it depends on. It's bounced off it so many times it saved it, but not today. It fell right through it. And this right here is very important to pay attention to because it's sitting right there on this trend line that goes all the way back to July of 2020. And when we go to the daily, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it saved it. And there it is, sitting right on top of it. And if that breaks, I don't see any kind of support till we get to 125 because I don't see it. I mean, that's the next support level. I guess you might be able to say maybe 130, maybe, and then if it breaks 125, we won't even talk about it because it's going much lower. And that would just be a catastrophe for the market. So I don't see Apple allowing that to happen anyway. They're probably buying back stock like crazy today, trying to save it. And then looking at the S&P, I mean the daily, Obviously, we broke down 200 a couple of days ago. Now we're breaking down past the 100. There's the 50 right below us in conjunction with that gap fill, which has been waiting midfield for at least over a month now. And so the bears are really wanting that. You can see right there on short time frames, we're just trading right between the 50 and the 100. The bulls are trying to save it. The bears are trying to push it down below it. Because remember, every time we break a moving average, it's just super bearish, right? And the algorithms trigger and everything else. You saw some of that happening today. And if we just pull up the relative strength and, MACD, you can see right there, the RSI, we've been waiting on it, waiting for it to break below that 50. And when that happens, normally it absolutely sells off. You see, we've been very well holding above it for quite a while, But the last time we saw a move, really a big move below 50, as you can see, obviously setting lower highs there and lower lows. You can see, going back to July, I want to point out that was what you don't want to see happen if you're a bull here, is once it broke below 50, it just took off, right? And so the other thing is, and this is what a lot of people are talking about right now, I see it all over Twitter and YouTube, is the weekly chart. Okay, that's the candle right there. You can see that's the anchored VWAP from the start of 2022. It rejected once, now twice. But if we close, let's say we close flat tomorrow, we're going to close down at a lower low. And you can see, if you look down, that MACD looks like it wants to roll over, and there the RSI is below 50. That has not happened since July, right there. But really, it is the weekly chart, or that weekly candle to me, that's going to decide a whole lot tomorrow. And so those are just things to watch out for when I'm looking at, when my alerts are set and stuff. I mean, we had a big move down today. You would think we would get a bounce tomorrow, since you got Apple at major support and other stocks that are at major support. And so it wouldn't surprise me a bit, but don't forget, you also have quad witching. You're going to have, I hadn't looked yet at how many options are expiring, how much they're worth and everything. But, we're talking about monthly and weekly options expiring on the same day. It only happens 4 times a year. So it's going to be interesting to see, right? I mean, Max Payne's set at like 390 right now on the SPY. And if you look where we close, right around there, right? Kind of interesting. But, I'm going to show you this chart. This is the reason why I tell people, I'm like, look, analysts, the experts on Wall Street, let me show you how stupid things are, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. When I saw this, I'm like, really? Good Lord. Maybe this is why I don't look at like analyst ratings anymore and listen to some of those people. But I mean, this is titled "Bucking the Trend. For the first time in decades, Wall Street strategists see a down year for stocks. Projected annual change for the S&P 500. Now think about this. This is the first time they're saying they see a down year, right? I don't know who they got these people from or who it's made up of. But I'm sorry, look at 08, 09. They were projecting through those years an 8% return on the S&P. Look at the dot-com bubble, right? And this is sourced out of Bloomberg, so you can look there if you want to. Look at the dot-com bubble. They were expecting over 10% while the market was crashing for 2.5 years. Right? I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? And again, I don't know where Bloomberg, did all this data and stuff, but I mean, it's just really, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, honestly, but if they're seriously telling me this is the first time they're projecting a down year, I'm not even worried about it then, because look at their batting average. I don't know. I didn't look at the other years, but it's not very good, is it? I don't think it is. I'm just going to judge them off the 08 financial crisis and the dot-com bubble after the market started crashing, and they're still looking for 8 to 10% returns on the S&P 500. I'm like, so yeah, no, no, I didn't even see. I tried to figure out what they got for 2020 in there. They had it positive, but yeah, I mean, I just had to show you that. I mean, it's the epitome of ridiculousness. Anyway, hope you guys got something out of this. Tomorrow will be a fun, wild, probably volatile day somehow. I mean, probably the range. My guess is Max Payne's what was it, 390 or something? Probably 388 to 402, somewhere in there, swinging back and forth. We'll have to see. Have to see how it goes, because I'm sure the market makers and whoever sold those options do not want to pay out that many options. So we'll see. Anyway, hope you guys got something out of it. Hit the like, subscribe if you did, and I will see you tomorrow.